Live, yeah, on this channel, on the AllShorts channel. I've been live for a while, no, but you see, Donald Trump, but you know, mates, starting to feel sorry for him, I am, yeah. Poor old Donny. Nobody loves him, no, nobody loves him anymore. So, the man who says he doesn't need us is crying for help. What the fuck? For over a year, he's been attacking Europe, threatening NATO, and being just basically a belligerent fucking idiot. And we are all supposed to just accept it and then come to us running. Come running to old Donny to save him after he instigated, even though his advisors told him this ain't a great idea, instigated or invading Iran. And he says he didn't think or didn't believe that we didn't realise that Iran would retaliate, that they would start blowing up US military bases. What? How stupid have you got to be? David Tom, I hope you are. How stupid, honestly, how stupid have you got to be? This is just insane. He's clearly lost his mind. And why is that? Considering getting rid of, he basically trying to bribe Zambia at the moment. He's bribing Zambia. He wants to take Cuba. He's already stealing oil from Venezuela, putting the money in his own bank. He's threatened Zambia with basically not sending them any HIV meds. If you don't send us your minerals, what the fuck? He's basically trying to force Zambia to send the United States minerals, rare earths and all that, in exchange for HIV medications and stuff, Well, that's madness. How did the HIV get into the United States in the first place? It didn't originate in the United States. Those were in African countries. So, USAID is there for a reason. It's not just there to provide aid. It's there to give you diplomatic recourse, soft power, and also to prevent these, diseases and what have you ending up into the United States. It's madness. Hello, my name is Ben. Hey, woodworker. And I've got my woodworking channel as well, Wally Boy. Links in the description. So, go Pinder. Hi, handsome. Yeah, right. Tired to the missus. Graham building a ladder. Oh my God, yeah, no, really? Oh my God. Last time he got me to build my ladder, I didn't even have the right materials on that island. Hello, Raddy Train. I hope you're well. Good day, mate. Yeah. Oh. So, it's an absolute shit show. There's Trump saying shit like this. All right. Oh, crikey, here we are. Let's play that.
Have your advisors told you anything in terms of how long we can expect gas prices as high as they are right now?
I don't need advisors to tell me that. I know what it is. The Prime Minister of UK, United Kingdom, yesterday told me I'm meeting with my team to make a determination. I said, you don't need to meet it with the team. You're the Prime Minister. You can make your own. Why do you have to meet with your team to find out whether or not you're going to send some minesweepers to us or to send some boats? I said, you don't have to meet with your team. It's the same thing here. I can tell you that when this is over, oil prices are going to go down very, very rapidly. So is inflation, so is everything else.
Have your advisors...
Yes, oil prices will come down a bit, obviously. But there's a massive problem. all the reserves and what have you, all the storage. A lot of the storage has been what's been blown up in it. Currently in the GC countries, all their current storage facilities are absolutely full, so they're not actually. Well, Dubai stopped processing. Saudi stopped producing. He's saying to be a dictator, yeah, pretty much, yeah. Keir Starmer's going to his advisors, which are the people who know about that kind of thing, instead of assuming that, I know everything. Just like, was it now? I've got it down, actually. Joe Kent. He was a Trumper, and he resigned, and he's the anti-terrorism geezer, and he's resigned. He said there was no imminent threat from Iran, which obviously wasn't. These countries just want to trade. When you try and cause them problems, you become the enemy, don't you? Hello, Edmund. Who's modding? Probably no one. Oh no, Joe's there. Hello, Joe. Hope you're well. Mate, hope you're well. So it's like he played chicken, right, with the Iranians. He's just, I play chicken with the Iranians, and what we'll do is we'll go head on, and blow all their shit up and that, and kill their Ayatollah, and there'll be regime change and stuff. Instead, the chicken was pretty stubborn and brave, and it fought back. Hello, Surfer Des, hope you're well. Hello, JBT Online, hope you're well. That shows that he takes all decisions by himself, exactly. He doesn't know everything. Of course he doesn't. He knows nothing. He's stupid, in fact. He's just, irritative. Now, the stuff he's been saying regarding NATO recently, and, just today. Stuff he's been saying for a very long time, it's like a test for NATO to see whether or not they would come and help us. I'm sorry, that's not what NATO is about. He's made an offensive. NATO is about being a defensive alliance. That's not what NATO's for. He's created the problem in the Strait of Hormuz, and now he wants everyone else to clean up his mess. For Christ's sake. But there are still people out there who support this man,
Told you anything
who believe
in terms
this
of how
man. Like this crazy girl.
To all of our allies that have oil stuck over in the Persian Gulf who are refusing to send military support to the United States of America. Are y'all dumb? What am I talking about? Well, I'll tell you. President Donald Trump put this out on Truth Social, encouraging some of our allies and partners to send military support over to the Strait of Hormuz so they can get their product out efficiently. And all of them have refused, and many are saying that Donald Trump is just begging for help. And to those people, I say, you haven't been paying attention. Donald Trump isn't begging for help. The United States of America doesn't need help. We're seeing who is going to offer help. And I'm going to tell you this right now, after watching everything Donald Trump's done for the past year. If we have to secure that oil for you, you will pay us a price for doing so. You have the chance right now to send your military over there to secure your investment. We don't have any.
So what she's saying basically is, we'll steal that oil and all, That ain't going to happen. That's not going to happen. Though the US is already finding it. They're looking for an off-ramp. Trump needs an off-ramp. He's either got, as you've probably been told before, he's either got to say, we've won, our goals have been achieved, and now we're coming home. And we're going to blow up Cuba next, and steal their oil and God knows what else. Yeah. Nothing will be achieved apart from the economy be absolutely shot. Iran will literally be selective of who they allow to have their oil through the Strait of Hormuz. And if any of them start selling oil to the United States, they'll block them and all. China's getting their oil. That's another thing. Trump is asking China, hey, China, will you come and help us? They're an ally of Iran and Russia. Actually, to be fair, I think Donald Trump is an ally of Russia as well. Yeah, definitely. It's an absolute shit show. It's like he will never accept that he needs help from anybody or that he needs anybody. He won't accept it. As soon as it looks like it, he backtracks. You know, they were going to be acquiring these interceptor drones from Ukraine. You know, very innovative people that they are. Genius people, in fact. And now he's saying, no, we don't want them. We don't need help from Ukraine. What? Yes, you do. How else are you going to... Your drone technology for your son to be able to, siphon more money out of the taxpayers' wallet. You know, since he's gone from like a golfing company now to a drone company. What the fuck? This is just crazy. It's like the United States. Just use NATO and any other defensive alliances to disguise insane spending on defence to profit for themselves. It's crazy. It's about $1 trillion a year they spent on that you know of on defence. You know, it's just crazy. But you know, it's probably more than that. It's what is that now? 20 million on lobsters. Why do that? Because Independence Day, when they had the toilet seats and the hammers. To hide the funding for the alien spaceship in the Area 51. It's just nuts. There we come. Oh, thanks, Joel, for being, yeah. I'm sorry if it's been a bit busy for you, mate. Oh, God, a church. I'll bet we're godly ones over here, Mike Gideon. Let everyone know I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God and Christ and stuff. I believe that Jesus probably existed. Yes, that's fair enough. And I believe that he's black. All right, and didn't speak English. Okay? What's it called? Semitic language? One of the Semitic languages? Anyway, whatever it was. Something like Semitic. Anyway. That's why I got tagged to Tago. Well, yes, you know, he is going to have to chicken out on this one, or it's going to get really nasty. But many in the US forces are now kicking off. Military personnel are retaliating. They are saying no to these illegal orders. Unfortunately, a load of them are not, because quite frankly, they've already blown a lot of shit up, haven't they? And everything that's been happening is illegal. We know it is. You know, even the Congress did it. So, you know, it's against international law, but also against your own laws in the United States. Trump deserves the Emmett Till treatment. Yeah, please. Definitely. There we come. Yeah, there was several languages they spoke in that area. Like 10 different languages and lots of more, less known languages as well. So we don't really know what language he spoke, do we? What the fuck was wrong with Congress? It doesn't work. Because the people in it. I'm sorry, they're not even putting it to Congress, are they? He just does it, you know, giant signature. How many M's is in Trump, by the way? Yeah, right it goes, you know, giant signature. And he just does whatever you fucking wants. Because he says he's the president of the United States. And he doesn't need anyone else to tell him what he can and cannot do. But you've got a constitution, and people who have pledged allegiance to the constitution, including politicians and military personnel, they have a legal responsibility to abide by it. But I know they've been falling on their knee and suckling on to Donald Trump's chocolate starfish, if you know what I mean. They're poopids. Things are heating up over here. The rats are starting to jump the ship, yes. They are. We'd like to say, Joe Kent, you know, he's a Trumper, you know, but he's say, hang on, this is fucking stupid. You know, what the hell are we doing? And at the end of the day, MAGA said no more forever wars, didn't they? Marjorie Taylor Greene, she jumped ship because of that. And the Epstein files. Isn't it funny? They name Epic Fury. It's the same initials as Epstein files. Maybe he's got his brain. Probably. Oh, dear. The thing is, everything you do to Iran, or Trump does to Iran, he's doing it to himself. You see, I think they just got haven't they just got killed one of the leaders? Oh, Jamal, not Jamal, what was his name? The one who walks amongst the crowds and stuff like that. Not the new Ayatollah, but a de facto leader, you know. I think he's dead now. Hello, David. Gerardo. They're all a bunch of actors. Yes, exactly. Actors and game show hosts and Fox News presenters and newsmates, whatever they might be. They're not politicians. And they know shit. You know, everything that Pete Hegseth does. You know, Keg's breath. Popcorn Pete. There he is, right? He's just doing a show. I can imagine him rehearsing to himself in the fucking mirror every time he knows he's going to have to do a speech. And it's so corny. He's so desperate. He's pathetic. He looks absolutely pathetic. You know? Virtually every other word that comes out of his mouth is another international law broken, you know, Geneva Convention and all that. And it's absolutely, it's desperate. He's desperate. They're trying to be relevant. Or in a sort of a show for... it's actually, I tell you what it's like. It's like a corny advert, you know? It's like a show reel. Pathetic. They are. They're all pathetic. Actually, as a word, I think that's what Ben Myers, or Midas Touch Network. He always calls them, he's pathetic, and he's right. They are absolutely pathetic. You know, I did watch Midas Touch Network because I like the information, but they do really clickbaity, unfortunately, and the adverts, the most strangest adverts. It's like they're like Timotei adverts, you know. They're kind of expecting to shake their heads and stuff, and jump in the barrel of water. So I don't know. It's just absolutely crazy. Just like selling your soul. It's like when you see all these really famous actors, and all of a sudden you see them because they need a bit of cash, doing like perfume ads, and cologne and shit like that. You know, oh god, that's desperate. You know, so I think they let themselves down. They don't need it anyway, to be fair, because the amount of money they're making on ads regarding YouTube is a lot, the views they get. But that's up to them, I suppose. You know, people still watch them, so. Susie Wiles has got breast cancer, which is obviously very, very awful. You know, at the end of the day, she's kind of the only one that can rein Trump in. You know, somebody needs to. You know, and someone's got to rein in Doe 174, as he's known in the Epstein files, you know. Oh, my Gideon, don't put Trump in the tent pegs. I think he's got a bit of he's probably never been camping ever since that moment. Yes, Trump has never been camping ever since that moment where Sasha Riley decided to shove a tent peg up his derriere. Yeah. Now, we mustn't forget about Sasha Riley. Now, he is compiling a whole load. He's trying to put all the evidence together as we speak. So, they're doing a little investigation and stuff to try and bring all the things they know to back it up with evidence. But to be fair, everything he was saying, it kind of all correlates with other events. So I've got no reason to doubt what he had to say. So it was very convincing. And the fact that he said that, Donald Trump screamed like a bitch. When you say scream like a bitch, is that misogynistic, or is it to do with like a bitch or dog? I don't know. Anyway. What the fuck happened to selling your assets like Jimmy Carter did? We'll sell his asses off. He's got he paid his bloody fines, has he? Trump has. just crazy, isn't it? It is just nuts. The only best he's doing at one thing is that he's hiding his orange colour. It's just kind of like, there's like an internal thing, and maybe it's reacting with all that shit all over his face. Oh, just unbelievable. Oh, so he says that the oil prices will come down rapidly. They will come down, obviously, once the threat is gone, but not while he's there. Ain't gonna go, is it? Iran is just cool and collectively launching the missiles they have to, and if they lose a few here and there, well then they do. But they've already cleared a route through, haven't they? The crazy thing is, I never thought I'd be rooting for Iran. That is just nuts. Because you can't lose sight of the fact that it is an awful regime. And no, they shouldn't have nuclear missiles, but nor should the United States in its current form. In fact, nobody should. Inside the market secrets to big corporations and friends in the government. Your lobbying, what have you, and also you can think about APAC, and lobbying should be legal. And the same in the United Kingdom as well. It should be made legal. It's caused a huge amount of problems for everybody. Don't forget, click the screen. Like, or click the little like button if you got one. It's got a it's the root of all evil, Why should corporations have influence over governments? Over the taxpayer, effectively. Yes, Pete Mandelson, another sleazy little fecker. Here's pictures of him with Epstein cutting open Epstein on Epstein's birthday, a birthday cake. These people are too close for comfort, They really are. And Peter Mandelson's obviously the fact that he's been allegedly giving secret information, which makes him a traitor, effectively, doesn't it? Yeah, corrupt pocket liners. Yeah, they're just all lining their own pockets. Obviously, Donald Trump has lined his own pockets. I'm quite pleased that Keir Starmer said, no, we will not be engaging in the war. We're just sending... I don't think they should be there anywhere near there, personally. And if one or two bases get shot to hell, well then, okay, you just have to accept that. But I don't think any of the Western allies should be anywhere near the Strait of Hormuz, personally. Because Iran won't see it like, oh, you're just being, it's defensive. They won't see it like that. They'll just say, well, nope, you're there. Why are you there? We don't know what you're up to, quite frankly, so they can't take the risk. So it just makes us look complicit. So I don't believe we should be there with mine-clearing ships or anything, personally. And we should not be allowing the United States to fly your planes, the B-52s, etc., out of UK bases. Shouldn't be happening. It just shouldn't. You just make yourself look complicit. That base now, they've actually shrouded it. They put all screening up all the way around the base now, so you can't see in. So all the enthusiasts have been going down there. They can't see anything now, because all these bloody bombers were coming in and out of that base in the UK. I can't remember which one it is, a Fairhaven or something, or Fairbank. Can't remember. Anyway, it's a base in the UK, in Suffolk, and it's been you're just making yourself complicit. And, the same with Germany. They've been allowing it as well. I don't hear Yanks using the word corruption as often anymore. I think he's got his own fraud czar now or something, hasn't he? He's got somebody to take care of fraud. I thought, what the fuck? You just done executive order have this to root out fraud, and you are the fraud. I thought, crikey. If you want to support the channel, there's super chats there as well, and I'll make sure I respond to your chat. Oh my God, really, really sad to say that my local pub, the Eagle in Mablethorpe, UK, flies sheet American flags, and the owner does American Trump. Oh no, really? Oh, that's so sick. Doesn't anybody realise? This is one of the things I really don't understand. I know. If you're like me, you also have a secret. Because I see dumb people. And they're like regular people. They walk amongst us, the feckers do. Oh, and they never ever will wake up. They really won't. Supreme Kangaroo Court without an ethics code. And, well, no, because he's got his own people in it now, and Trump is in there. Okay, sometimes they go against Trump, but not all the bloody time. It's just unreal, really, and it really is. Trump he said it'll be an honour to take Cuba. Take Cuba, that'll be my honour. What the heck is wrong? Oh, well, we know what's wrong with him. He's a lunatic for a start, and he's a sociopath, isn't he? A narcissistic sociopath. And he's got obviously frontal lobe dementia, and it's clearly setting in its roots quite deep at the moment, and we can see it plain as day. Unfortunately, no one seems to want to do the 25th Amendment, but there you go. Stuck with him for a bit. Oh, happy St. Patrick's Day. Same to you then. Oh, dear me. Don't it depress you? All this shit that's going on. It's Mr. Black, hello there. No, I'm not Jack Black. I just every day you follow this stuff. Every day I'm writing notes about this stuff and research, and I thought, crikey, what's depressing is that I can't see an off ramp anywhere yet. I can't see an off ramp, one that is desirable for Trump to take. I just don't see it. You see, he's so pig arrogant, isn't he? He's either got to claim victory, and how can he claim victory at the moment when it all looks so shit? You know, or he's got to go in there heavy-handed and literally try and take everything and take the oil. That goes through the Strait of Hormuz. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I can't see GC countries accepting that as the norm, and Iran will just literally go ballistic. They will shut the route to the Suez Canal while they're at it through the Houthi rebels in Yemen, and it's just madness. The whole thing is madness. Hello, Miss Elby, hope you're well. You're boat shopping? Oh, what sort of boat shopping? I'm a boater. Yeah, I've got my yacht masters, me. I have a VHF radio licence. Long time ago, mine, but you know. Thanks, you just reminded me. I have a Guinness in the fridge. Yeah, go get your Guinness. He wants the uranium. Yep, most probably. The only thing is, according to Iran, it's covered in rubble. So they've been saying. Did they get it out of that place before it got blown up? We don't know. What might have done? Might not. Who knows? I just, off the start, I think they were very hypocritical of the US. You know, Iran mustn't have a nuclear weapon. No one's going to fire a nuclear weapon unless they're absolutely fucking mad. They're not. We've got Trump, so he might, but because that's an end game. And I got the tacticals as well, but that's an end game. Like tic-tac-toe. MAGA painted his house in a French flag colours, thinking it was a man. Really? Oh no. Oh, people, eh? As long as people just believing that these presidents and heads of state are the ones in charge, they will keep this circus going. Well, it's not, it's corporations. Everything Trump is doing is for the benefit of his friends. People with shitloads of money who've got their own bunkers. Trump is a bad bitch. Oh, that he is. He likes tent pegs. That was derriere. The attack is the proof Iran did not have a nuclear weapon. Yeah, did not have a nuclear weapon. They would attack if Iran had it. Reason why? Well, no, they will really want to have one. Yep, that's a valid point. So they're more likely to enrich that uranium to a level for nuclear missiles now, or nuclear weapons, bombs, or devices now. They're more likely to do it now because they've been attacked. Cheeky little shit. Hello, Andrew. Yeah, I'm quite cozy. I got my onesie on. I had my dog all over me, as you can see by all the dog hair. And we've done a nice little snug area outside now with a shelter in my house. It's really quite cool. And me and my little Nacho here, there he is. We were asleep, fell asleep on there earlier. Then I come in because it's got cold. Hello, Andrew. What's Surfer Des say? Surfer Des. Today is Boondock Saints watching day. What? Yeah, the thing is, though, where does it end with all this? Ooh, dirty bomb. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, enriched uranium. There is dirty bombs as well. They don't need quite such a level, do they? They don't be was it over 90% or something. They don't need to be as rich for that. Trump in a pine box. Oh, one day. I'm hoping there'll be several pine boxes because I'm hoping he's going to have a cankalism and just explodes everywhere. That's what I'm hoping. And bits of them. It could be a square box and even then, couldn't it? Instead of a long one. Because it wouldn't matter. Well, there was Mark Carney, right? Canadian Prime Minister. He's been doing his Nordic rounds, he has, and I've never heard so much Canadian praise from Mark Carney as I did from all these Nordic leaders. Even Norway, Denmark, all of them. It was how great it is to have Mark Carney, blah, 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 blah. Having better alliance, we've got to build up a relationship and stuff like that. And after his speech at Davos, he's getting a lot of praise. I don't know how Mark Carney does it, because he must feel quite uncomfortable at times. Constantly being told how great he is. That's just funny. When it's Trump, he's out there, everyone's thinking he's shit. Everyone wake up in the morning, they check their picture, he's fucking still alive, they go. It's just, I don't know, he's just done it for himself, He's painted himself into a corner. That's what Trump has done. He's painted himself into a corner, and people are wising up to him. It's taking a bit of time, isn't it? World leaders are wising up to him. It's just like, how many world leaders have decided they were going to pop over to the White House and try and strike some kind of deal with Donald Trump? When it comes down to it, there was never a deal to be had. There never is with Trump. He just likes to see people squirm. That's kind of what he likes to do. That's his modus operandi, that is, Well, one of my notes I've been doing for the week, you see. I didn't make a video today. Just so busy that I didn't have a chance. And I was covered in muck from the workshop, so I was pretty fit and filthy. It's like this. He went on about destroying all the boats and stuff, the ships for Iranian ships that were, so he said, were laying these mines. When it comes down to it, the Iranians don't use ships to drop their mines. They just go with bloody speedboats, high-speed boats. So it's just like he makes this stuff up as he goes along, doesn't he? He just makes it up, or he hears a couple of words and he's not like listening to the detail or whatever, you know. He probably fell asleep, who knows, you know. But, you know, he's always got his little biased media sort of like backing them up, isn't it? You know, I was listening to Fox News today, and what's that geezer's name? Oh, my giddy aunt on Fox News. Anyway, he's a right Trump sycophant. Trying to twist things around, like, you know, the one who goes on about strong men and stuff, and I think, no, he doesn't look very strong. So, dear me. I don't know. I really don't. I'm so glad and grateful that the rest of the world said no to the toddler in chief. Yes, so am I. And no one has said they'd give him a hand. End of the day, he started this. It's so embarrassing. Humility festival there. It is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for all of us, in fact. I'll tell you what was embarrassing, I found embarrassing early on in the Trump presidency, this second one, was the how these world leaders went up to Trump and tried to they just basically suckled onto this chocolate starfish and yes, Trump, no Trump, you know, great you, Trump. And then you got the leader of NATO, Mark Rutte, going, calling him daddy. What the feg? You know, I think he's waking up a little bit now. And Mark Rutte's sort of losing his grounds because other members of NATO have basically said no to him, you know, because Mark Rutte's tried to lay down or put pressure on world leaders with regard to Trump. We have to do it on our own. We really do. We can't trust them. We can't trust the United States anymore because there's no telling who's going to be next. We might be out of the frying pan into the fire, whoever comes next. We don't know. Not now. And for Trump to go on about, we don't need, we spend all these hundreds of billions on defence for Europe, and that's not entirely true. That's not how NATO spending works. There's about 300 million that the US actually pays directly. It's a percentage of your GDP, and it's for the every country has to pay in for the maintenance and the meetings and officers and stuff regarding NATO. But the military spend is your own military spend, and when you got the United States making up its figures using the veteran, the cost of the veterans and all that sort of stuff, and even though he's probably got rid of all that now, as a way of bigging up the payment, the amount of money they spend, it's just ludicrous. It's fraudulent. The whole thing is fraudulent. And besides, you're going on about military spend, and it looks like your military spend is on offensive operations, which is against NATO anyway. You know, and I've got these bases there are there to protect Europe and that. Well, I ain't done a very good job, has it, for Netanyahu, is it? Looks like he might even be dead. We don't know. We really don't know. Only video clips I've seen of him either when he's a lot younger or AI. In fact, somebody made a prank one of Netanyahu where he'd where he is. I got it. Here you go. You got to see this. It's just take the mick out of it, basically. It's got a foot for
It's
hands.
fine. Don't worry. What are you doing? Just a taste. Hello.
See? It's mocking it, basically. But some people saying he's either incapacitated or he's dead. Who knows? Well, he's the same water pilots. I didn't realise that. Yes, I understand, Christine. No, there isn't. And if he is gone, that'd be good. But who takes over? That's the other thing, you know. The goals are going to be the same, aren't they? It's not just Netanyahu, is it? All he's been saying that Iran's got, for the last 40 odd years, he's been going on about Iran's nuclear, build a missile next week. Yes, I better reach the United States. You better attack them. Just lies, lies, lies. Do you know what's really tragic is obviously these girls when they got killed. But the parents of those children, they're not going to ever be our friends, are they? You don't attack these people and kill their families and expect them to forgive and forget. You're not going to, are they? All Trump has managed to do is he's just created a whole load more terrorists, jihadists and all that, you know. Hello. I know how to fix this mess, says Robin. Come on, how do you do it? I know too. You've got to tell Trump that Obama could hold his breath for 15 minutes, and then he'll try the same. Love to HMS Dragon left Portsmouth and headed to Devon. One of the aircraft carriers is in maintenance, but L37007 RFA Lime Bay going out for a jolly in the Med. Are both of the new ones, the 3 billion aircraft carriers, are they both functioning? To me, it seems like there's one out and one in all the time because it's just there's always something goes wrong. Or a retired sailor, surfer desk over there. Apart from being, he's sailing and what have you, but nothing like, not military-wise, but my father was in the merchant fleet for years. But that sea, when you're in the middle of that sea, all you can see is the horizon, and in 1 minute you're like down there in the swell, the next minute you're up there, and it's like 1 minute you can see the horizon, next minute all you can see is sea. It's quite overwhelming at times, especially if you're in a small boat. Like 20, 30 feet or something. What happened to the sewage on the American ship? The one where they shoved all the T-shirts down the toilets. Because they ain't very happy. There's a lot of, there's a bit of an uproar, isn't there? Hang on, there we go. Those little girls broken my heart. I feel so sad for all the families. Their babies just effing gone. Of course, insane people are running the US government. And I abhor my government. Yeah, it's horrendous. Now, I've got 6 kids, right? I've got 11 grandchildren now. I just can't imagine how my mind would change if something happened to them and it was somebody else's doing. I think I'd be a bit angry. Sometimes you might just be angry and sort of hold it in yourself and all that and be bitter. Some people act out. Yes, the Fanta Fiera is sinking the United States, says Joe. You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. Nobody's interested in the US anymore, and it's sad, really. I know it's been going downhill for a very long time, and not just with Republican leadership, also this mentality of superiority that's been driven into many American people some are resistant to it, and others just get taken in, hook, line, and sinker. Some kind of like superiority complex. And we who look in and sit on the fence, we can see it. What the earth are you on about? What? That's embarrassing. Don't do it. My info on 9/11 was shared with me on a drive to London when Mr. Morrill told me. When I heard about 9/11, I was fitting a shower for a customer. I was putting the cubicle in, and I had the radio going, and I went, what the heck? Hello, Evan Spitter, I hope you're well. Naval aviation, oh wow. I've had the family members, it's horrible. Yeah. I have 2 sons, and the thought of losing either would do me in, yeah. That's the thing, isn't it, That's the fact that we've got a large family, and it puts a fair garden to be that something happens to them. Obviously, the odds are increased, aren't they? The more children you got, more grandchildren you got, the odds are increased that something terrible could happen. And that is a living fear, isn't it? There's a constant fear. Your children are special, aren't they, to you? But it's when you got it's taken out of your hands, and somebody else, such as Trump or Pete Kegsbreath, Popcorn Pete, when they effectively do this, and the way they talk about it as well, it's like it doesn't matter. The way Trump's going on about Cuba, and we'll just take Cuba. Their fucking power is out. They've got total power outage at the moment in Cuba. So the hospitals are struggling on generators and shit like that, People themselves are scared, obviously frightened because of Trump and that as well. It's just, and then obviously Venezuela, he's stealing their oil. It's one great big grift. Everything's a grift. It's just unbelievable. And don't forget to double click the screen. You got to give me a like, yeah. Don't I deserve one? Right, US, Gerald Ford has been on duty for 10 months, blocked toilets, and a laundry fire has 600 sleeping on floors and made up bunks. Oh, yeah, I bet it's fucking hot down there. Crikey. Mooney on the bounty, says Billy. Well, that's getting that way. Many are. They're retaliating. Look what Trump's done to the military. Whether it be trans-related or whether it be women in the military. They already want to, with this voting bill that's going through. Well, not I think it's going through. Anyway, this voting bill. They're going to get rid of women's right to, some women, to be able to vote. To get your ID, you've got to have on your ID. It's got to be on your submitted ID. You've got to have your birth address on there, and birth address, your birth name on there. Well, when women take their husbands' names if they get married and that. I was on board the Lincoln. God. Well, Lincolns have action at the moment. So I hear. The worst case scenario is diarrhea in the bounty. Diarrhea. Certainly in the nappy. And the diaper on. Oh, you know what? If all the suggestions that Donald Trump's wears nappy, I think we're fairly confident about that, or some kind of pad or something. and it's because of Sashka Riley and the tent peg. If that could be verified, oh my God, that'd be so funny. It'd really be funny. You got a cat? Yeah, we got a cat. Got 3 dogs and a cat. Yeah, Keg's Breath is such a moron. He's a moron. He's just... What's the first thing he did? He had a makeup room built, didn't he? A space where he could have his makeup done. What the fuck? And he reckons he's manly. A manly man has hands like that. Let's stay at my fucking hands, like, all right? Because I'm a working geezer, all right? I make stuff. You know, my hands are, you know, my nails are buggered. Been bashed with hammers and cut with knives too many bloody times and chisels. It's kind of what happens, you know. But you just carry on, don't you? You know? Yeah, we've got a cat. The stinking Lincoln. It's quite a old ship in that Lincoln. I think a lot of them are, aren't they? It's like those KC 135s, isn't it? Some of them about 60 odd years old, aren't they? You know, the one that are falling out of the sky. Yeah, they're not getting shot down according to Trump, they're falling out of the sky. It's crazy, isn't it? You know, but according to other reports, they said they were shot down. Humans should have war like apes. Wars would be stinkier, but less lethal. Pound our chests and stuff and that as well. That's what pigs have, doesn't it? The Reapers are dying too. Ooh, what's happened to the Reapers? Are they falling out of the sky or something? If you are talking about the drones, that is. You're not talking about the Reaper, are you? The Grim Reaper. Krusty Gnome and her wardrobe. Oh my God, her cosplay, Christy. Oh my giddy aunt, that woman. Well, she's been, demoted basically, isn't she? And replaced with a guy with a tenor hat. He wants to fight for everybody. Oh dear. Oh, when I was on that island, you could hear the little fucking monkeys. What are they called again? Oh, the ones that throw shit. Yeah, when I was on Ginger Island with Graham, you could hear the monkeys that throw shit screaming from the top of their voice there. Oh shit, they use it as projectiles. There you go there. And in the film Martian, they used it to grow the potatoes. Oh, eyes out. Oh, I see. Is that why they call the drones the Reapers? Hello, Robin. Oh, yeah, 200 million on adverts just to basically promote herself on a horse. What if she shot that horse when she finished with it? I don't know. She does like shooting her animals, doesn't she? Especially dogs. Look who is at your back. Something is there. I have got a Nacho. Little Nacho doggy there. And then over there I've got Pandora. And over there I've got Sebastian. And over here I'm already covered in dog hair. Because, you know, he jumps all over me, does Nacho. But he's sleepy now. She got kicked to the curb, told her she's no longer welcome at Mar-a-Lago, and told White House people do not put her calls through to the Mango Mussolini. Well, a bit like Margie Taylor Greene, isn't it, you know? How about Wag the dog? Well, there's that one there, he's a rescue. They're all rescues, actually, but we got him from a local rescue place, you know. And I think he was mistreated, and that he's got a cigarette burn on his bum, and also the doctor's towels. I imagine it's a chasse. They're probably breeding for hunting and all that, but I don't think he'd be any good at hunting. Although he does like hunting, but he's just He's too playful. Ice Barbie, I know. She's a strange one. And the man with plastic surgery. What is it with these people with all that bloody plastic surgery? It always goes bad, don't it? You know, gets to a point where the face doesn't fit the plastic surgery. It's just like something seriously going on. Even Caroline Levitt now, she just had a facelift. You know, they were tucked behind the ears and stuff, you know. I just don't know. You know, they end up, and once they start, they can't seem to stop. And they end up like weird kind of looking people. What's that all about, you know? Why can't people just grow old gracefully and just be done with what, you know? You've been dealt a set of cards, deal with them, you know? You got to play your cards, so yeah. Not bloody well, yeah, he's on his back. I know, that's the snoring is Pandora. She's snoring over there. I have two cats, Hobbs and Chirp. Good names. Yeah, we've got little Riley, but he'll be upstairs somewhere or outside. He tends to do a bit of hunting. Oh, they think the song is about them, don't they, babe? I got that on vinyl. Oh, what was her name again? Oh, she's a bit of a one-hit wonder, wasn't she? I had a Jack Terrier. That show reminds me of him. Yeah, he's very he's full on work. Don't get me wrong, but I love him to bits. He's so funny. He's absolutely hilarious little thing he is. So, Carly Simon, that's it. Yeah, Carly Simon. Yeah. She wrote that about her boyfriend, didn't she? Ex, about her ex. You're so vain. You think the song is about you. Brilliant song, you know. And so true for so many people, you know. Hello, Steve McGowan, hope you well. It's interesting if you look at the videos from the 1980s and 90s, how people ages and naturally and today when men and women go crazy for cosmetic treatments, I die. It is crazy. It makes no fucking sense. You know, so I don't try, hang on to that last little bit of youth, and then it all goes bad. It never ends well, does it, for them? Look at Christy Nome. When you see her close up, oh my God, what's going on there? You know? It's just. And then you got Trump, and, you know, he's had his scalp reduction, for which he beat his missus up over because the doctor, it was more painful than she said if you go with his doctor. Their doctor's a good one. Oh, he hurt me. There's scalp reduction. No, forehead reduction. Scalp, what do they do with those? Forehead reduction? No, forehead reduction when they bring the hair forwards. Fucking crazy. Plastic people are not attractive to me. They ain't to me either. Do you know? I actually... If a woman is attractive to... If I'm attracted to a woman, it'd generally be somebody who's athletic. Even though I'm a fat bastard. And natural. Not covered in bloody makeup. I don't know a little bit, but, you know, I think it's all too much. But that's, you know, depends on what you want. I suppose it's not my thing. I don't wear makeup. Only on Fridays. Carly Simon, definitely not a one-hit wonder. That was definitely her best song. No airtime for a week would freak his ass out. Yeah. Wouldn't it be great if the media said, no, sorry, we're not actually obliging to you, Trump. We are not going to be airing you. We're not going to be reporting on you. What if the majority of them, he would hate that. He would absolutely hate it. All you'd have is his right-wing outlets. He thrives for it, doesn't he? He wants it, he craves it. And he craves sometimes the negative stuff just so he can make a point. Yeah. Quiet, Piggy, quiet, you know. And also, what did he say to it? That one, no, Oh, actually, if you smiled occasionally, you might be actually quite pretty. Or something like that. Excuse me. Oh, it's just everyone to themselves, you know. That's just plastic surgery, then. That's the big thing. Why would you do it, really? Put yourself under the knife. I understand if you've got like a disfigurement. I don't know, like a fat nose or something like that, you know. Then maybe. My nose suits my head. I've got a massive fucking head. I've got a 61 centimetre head. I don't know, I think it's grown since I've been doing all this shit. But anyway, I've got a big head. And I'm not very tall, so I'm like, you know, I've got a massive head on a little body, fat body. That's what I do. I make myself fat so the head don't look out of proportion. That's what I do, yeah, that's it. One of my sons is 6'4". My head's bigger than his. Oh, Trump's an asshole. Yes, he is. And unfortunately, a lot of people like to suckle onto this chocolate starfish. I think they're waking up. A lot of them are. His base is. Did you see Scott Besson the other day? Crikey, he looked really uncomfortable. He got called back into the situation room while he was having an interview. And he looked like he's going to cry, you know. It's just, what the fuck? Let's, you know. Night, guys. Be good. Night, Betty. Be respectful with time. The Substance was a good movie about aging and the limits people go to avoid it. Yeah, it's desperate, isn't it? It's desperate. I kind of, if you are, excuse me, I suppose somebody like me who hasn't lived their life on the basis of how they look, you know, like from the industry that I'm in, you know, woodworking and stuff like that. It's never really been an issue, you see. Being an ugly bugger has never stopped me getting a job, if you know what I mean. But when you got somebody who's, who's an actress or an actor, musician or something like that. Anyway, somebody who part of their industry is about how they look. You can't get away from that. You know, it's just the sad truth. No matter how they sound or how good actors they are, sometimes it's just about how they look. And it kind of gets indoctrinated in them, you know. Trump, it's really indoctrinated in Trump, isn't it? You know, he still thinks he's good looking, and he never was good looking. I've seen enough pictures of videos of Donald Trump from his past, and not one of them I would say he's ever been a good looking bloke. Fucking ugly, you know. No wonder he wanted scalp reduction. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of rumours about BB is dead, but he ain't making any rounds. He's either dead or he's incapacitated. He's badly injured and he's in hospital or something, and nobody's telling us. They've probably got a body double for him. And he'll be doing, anything to get the money from the United States Treasury, just so they can send a load more back to AIPAC, so AIPAC can then give it back to government officials and stuff. How it goes. That money goes round in circles, doesn't it? It's like an insular economy, really, isn't it? Within their own little group of people. Crazy. Do you know what though? Am I anti-Israel? I'm not really anti. I'm anti what's going on. Obviously, Zionism, not. I'm anti that. But I just want us all to be able to live together in harmony, no matter what race or religion that you are. I remember, Judaism. Oh, I can't say it now. It's not religion, is it? It's this religion. Sorry, it's not a it's not a race of people, is it? It's not, it's a race. No, it's not a race, is it? Of course, it's not. But they've all got ponytails, so I don't know. Oh dear me, it's just not my thing, you know. Religion for me is just it's a no go area for me. I'm not saying I'm right, you know. I just don't believe in it. If people believe in that sort of stuff, that's up to them, isn't it? You know.
Fine, don't worry.
No, you know, shut up. Yeah. It always seems to be like bad people seem to support Trump, don't they? You know. Crazy. Why am I sneezy? It's probably because I've been doing dusty work. I made a sign today to go outside my got the area we created outside, and I had to put a sign there because it was too hot because of the sun. So I thought, I'll put a sign there, you know, and a dangly sign, and that could be like a screen as well. And it's basically a salon because I think it sort of evolved into like it looks like a salon, you know, not a saloon. Sorry, not hairdresser's salon. Yeah. So anyway, I made a sign and I got the dust using the route on making the sign. What my nose it did. And let's not forget also the Epstein files, 47,000 of them apparently being deleted. So, the lengths you go to hide from the Epstein files. The last dump was very damning. I don't know if anybody saw it. The last Epstein file dump. Some of that stuff is damning. Trump is a bad bitch with sexual disease. He's got syphilis or something. Yeah, that's why his face looks like it's fallen off. It's kind of been held on with J.B. Weld or something, you know. An orange version. They are freaks. Look at, of course I'm ugly. I'm not exactly. I'm a gift to the female, you know, or anybody. In fact, I'm a gift to anyone who's looking. I've been married too long to care anymore, to be honest. Religion is something intimate. The moment it is public and influencing governments, it's toxic. That's a very good. That actually is a very good point, because if it stayed intimate when people, you know, went to church and, you know, sort of spoke to God and all that, you know, and prayed and stuff, and it becomes this kind of grounding thing as on an individual basis. What's wrong with that? You know, I don't see any problem with that at all. Look, I've never thought about that. That's a really good point, Joel. That really is. You know, as soon as it becomes something, it also becomes a commodity, because you've got all these bloody faith leaders, haven't you, who are making shitloads of bloody money out of this. Crazy. And the lizard skin keeps poking through Taco's orange layer. You mean that lump, that scab on the side of his neck? Yeah, that's trying to escape at the moment. Ian Jackson 4571 says, I was orphaned at 11 years old, and when I met Saint Teresa, we hugged each other. I was introduced to her by my godfather, Ron Craig. Well, if it was good for you, it's been good for you, it's fine, isn't it? You know? But I think Joel's right, though. As soon as it becomes outwardly expressed, I think it can start becoming a problem. Christine Bowl says, I'm spiritual. I just don't believe you must go somewhere to pray. I think that's fair enough, isn't it? You know? I always believe to be a good person, you don't necessarily have to follow some God. That's my thing, right? Yeah, you don't treat others other than would be treated yourself, you know. Just if you see someone needs a bit of help in the hand, help them. You know, not just walk past. You know, you don't have to be, I don't know, do-gooders or stuff like that, as some people call them. But it's just, you know, just be a decent person. You know, be civil with people. You know, engage with people. Just acknowledge them. You know, say good morning to somebody you never met before, you know, that sort of stuff. Hold the door open for somebody, you know, a bit of chivalry, you know, it's just, I have to admit, I live in France because I live in France. It's one of the things me and my dear missus really noticed, and it was the youngsters. It's the youngsters, and if they're hanging about outside the supermarkets or anything like that, and it's and it's or shop or whatever in the door, they'll open the door for you. That's the difference. I have to admit, when living in the UK, and a whole load of youths outside the corner shop, it's a little bit intimidating. And at first, I felt that in France, and then through experience, you realise, hang on, this is different. And the parents are strict, especially where I am in the village, in rural France. The parents are very, very strict. They don't put up with any shit. Some people might say too much so. Well, it seems to work if you ask me. They turn that into being more respectful in many ways. But if you fucking upset them, they'll fucking have you. They said, bloody, you're British. I am British. Oh, yeast infection, nasty. Robin. What have I missed? I've missed something, sort of that. I like people. I like people, not all people though. There's some very nice, decent people out there, aren't there? I also, it's not difficult to do here in France. France is quite insular with its products. There's wines and all that sort of stuff. We do still have your spirits here, like JD, but they don't seem to sell very quickly anymore. I never buy it anyway, but yeah, I don't buy US products if I can help it, because I don't like what's going on. Okay, and I tend to try and support the country I live in. Now, a while back, before Brexit happened, there was a company called Mouse to House. And there was another one as well. But basically what it is, you could order your goods from Tesco's and get them to deliver them to Mouse to House, and Mouse to House would then deliver them to a location in France. So you could basically have your supermarket shop. And we never used to do that. We live in France, why the hell are we buy English food for? The French feed themselves, don't they? I don't get it. And when in France, or when in Rome, do as Rome do. The Romans don't like that, That's a very straightforward point there. What both religions taught me is that being a twat to others and meddling with their business is useless, because we all have less than 100 years to live in this earth, and it's a waste of time, Spawn. Well, isn't it? It is. Yeah, some people thrive on it. They do it because they get a kick out of it, just being horrible. The only time I think people would be horrible is, sometimes we need to remember that it's to be at our arse to people who are having too much of a good time that day when they don't deserve it. Yeah, in the UK it is different. It's there's a lot of US products in the UK. We do have like Jeep and what have you as car brands here. There's a fair few of those. I wouldn't buy them though because they're shit. I think the world lost civility along the way, and not all people are bad. No, they're not. Not all people are good. No, they're not. But that's because it's not all or nothing. We can all change for the good or the bad at any point in our life. Yeah, I suppose it could be the case. I do believe that some people will never change their spots. Let them change their spots. I do believe that. For instance, my brother-in-law is completely an arsehole. Both of them are. And I would never, ever trust them because I don't think they'll ever change their spots because they're still the same people. What? Theodore1488. YouTube took all my channels. Even took my music. What? What happened to you, Theodore? Always surprised. YouTube is getting very heavy-handed at the moment. I got a potential strike the other day. It was a warning in the end because I hadn't had a strike for a long time. And it was a video about Israel. And it wasn't even really negative towards Israel. It wasn't pointing the finger or anything. That was his history. So it just seems a bit much, really. They're clamping down on trolls. I'm not even a troll. Same in Canada for US products, but we leave them on the shelf for the most part, yeah. Oh, quite in Canada, oh my God. Canadian, it's like half Canadian visits to the United States because of Trump. He's literally killing the US, isn't he? He's just destroying it. Its place in the world, its reputation, its relationship with other countries and their citizens, not just the leaders, you know. It's mad. Yeah, they are. You're right, Steve. They are, but then that's what it's all about, you know. These algorithms are supposed to be really clever. Can't they pick and choose? Read between the lines, you know. It's just... our advertisers won't be interested in that or something stupid. I get demonetized all the time. You know, most of the time I'm making very little money on this channel. And it does make you wonder why you put so much effort into making the videos and stuff. It does make you wonder. It's getting harder and harder and harder to keep the money up, really, I suppose. But yeah, that's how it is, isn't it? YouTube takes up to 45% with tax included each super chat donation. Yes, they do. Yeah, I know. It's crazy, really, because when you get like things like because we do our GoFundMe with our tree project, you know, tree planting, and if we get around $100 or euros in donations, it's only about 4 or 5 euros fee. It's about 5% fee, and that's fine. You know, that's more than except I think that's generous, and it's more money is going directly to the effectively charity to plant the trees and stuff, and it's great. And also Patreon, they're not greedy either, but YouTube is incredibly greedy. They already make shitloads of money from the advertising. You know, what can we say? They're the ones that's their platform. That's why we need a European version and another US version, but probably non-profit. A bit like Signal. You know, if you're on WhatsApp, get off there, get on Signal if you can, because it's still a corporation effectively, but it's non-profit, so there's no shareholders or anything. In Alberta. Do you know, I really want to visit Canada. I've never been. My kids have, but I've never been to Canada. And it looks like it's the sort of place that suits me underground, you know. Extremes of weather, you know. Trees, wildlife, bears. Yeah, we'll go one day. The thing is, we've got the dogs and stuff. I'm getting old, I can't leave them. And I won't put them in kennels. I never ever put my dogs in kennels. Oh, YouTube is Jewish. Is YouTube Jewish or is it just Zionist? Don't know. They haven't fallen completely towards Trump. They're just They're tippy-toeing at the moment, aren't they? They're doing what they have to do. How capitalist I speak. I'm not pro-capitalist. I'm kind of anti that. I haven't got a huge problem with capitalism. I've got a problem with the greed that's associated or attached to it. Because capitalism should work without preference, shouldn't it? There shouldn't be people, excessively benefiting. It should be more balanced, but it's not, because you've got greedy individuals taking everything. It's so beautiful, and I've been to all provinces in Canada, except for BC and PE. Yeah, I'd love to go. It's when we moved to the mainland, to France. At the time, it was a case of France, or should we go to Spain, or France or Spain, France or Spain, and then we decided on France because it was green. Because there's trees. Spain's quite arid. It doesn't really suit us. Take care, Theodore, be good. I need to rebuild. You better do that. If you come to Canada, look me up. If you find my igloo, I'll introduce you to my pet polar bear, Spot. Very good. Oh, Craig, got blizzards today in Manitoba. It's been a beautiful day today here in France. We're sort of south central near Limoges, so in the Limousin, and it's been an absolutely gorgeous day today. Well, take care, Joel. I'm going to be going off now anyway. So take care, Crazy Fox. And thanks, Joel, for doing all the modding and that. Really appreciate, my friend. By the way, Joel's also got a channel as well, and he talks a lot of sense. That he does. Do you know that's the thing that's missing these days, isn't it? Common sense, practical sense. Do you know what? It would be quite different if we had governments that actually had practical skills, so they had a bit of common sense. Because it's see, with practical skills, common sense is all integral as a part of it. You see, you can't make things work unless you've got some common sense in that field. Whereas these politicians always seem to either be, I don't know, ex-business people or worked in other fields and that. It'd be quite interesting to have people who actually are people who appreciate people who actually work with their hands. Build stuff. Because it wouldn't be funny without those people. You wouldn't have anything anyway, would you? You wouldn't have a roof over your heads. You need the people to build stuff. I know we'll 3D printed houses soon, but still got to maintain the existing, even if they are heading towards 3D printed housing or pet builds. I think things would be different if we did. Unfortunately, it's always the people with too much money, which won't be the ones who work with their hands, are the ones that get into government positions. Or it's been something that their family's been, like for instance, if you think of Jeremy Corbyn, his father was a politician, and it's just went on from there, really. And it becomes a cycle of all this, the same old, isn't it, Yeah, it's a good point, actually. But that makes him a practical person, because he's introduced as well, If I remember rightly, my father was second mate because he was the carpenter on the ship. It's a long time ago, No more effing data centres. Well, I don't know if you heard, Elon Musk has just done an application to the FCC to launch 1 million satellites in probably low Earth orbit again, which are going to be for data centers for processing AI up there. Because it's cold, you see. Politics can be generational. It certainly are. My president is a former general. Crises are normal shorts. You only grow when you fight. Stagnation is not good to anybody. No, it's not. Also, with stagnation, you get people who wallow in their own self-pity. You have to move. And you have to do, if you don't do anything, otherwise you don't move, you're not going to go anywhere, are you? You might go on a tangent somewhere. You might have a trajectory in a certain direction, and you might go off on a tangent and do something totally different. But if you weren't moving in the first place, you wouldn't have learned that new thing, would you? Now, I'm the kind of person who, if something I don't know, I want to learn it. I want to know it. Especially practical stuff. How to fix things, I'll pull shit apart and see how it works, because it interests me, because I want to learn. You'd like Vancouver Island inside straight, very green, and generally no snow. I kind of like all extremes. Do you know what I mean? I've experienced all sorts, really. But Canada's beautiful. From what I can see, it's a beautiful country. And the people seem all right too. They do. And you got your MAGA maples, haven't you? But your maple MAGA. You got the Pierre Palev. I think people must be wising up to him. In fact, he did a speech there. Was it called a speech? Anyway, he did an event about a week or so ago. Last week, I think it was. No, it was Pierre Palev. He was standing up there to all these tech engineers and what have you. And he was reading off a load of fucking shit. And these people are like just, you can see their faces going, what the fuck are you on about? He was going on, it was really harebrained stuff. It really was. Embarrassing, man. Why not have a pension to rent to holidaymakers? I want to help your efforts. I suppose you could do that. Could do that. We have had things like ex-help here and stuff like that in the past. So the AI that they're investing in is already becoming obsolete. And new models are being developed. Well, it's like Anthropic, isn't it, with Claude. That's a totally different way of doing things. But that's obsolete now, really, isn't it? It's moving on all the time. So economically, it's not viable. What happens when they, AI develops AI? It's just speed up, isn't it? Yeah, Pierre Palev shows his ignorance every time he opens his mouth. Just like Trump. And I don't do Grok at all. I don't do any of them, actually, to be fair. I was using AI for a bit, ChatGPT and stuff, just for research and stuff like that. It was wrong so many times. It was dangerous. I've already made my own mistakes. I don't know. I don't need ChatGPT to help me. We need a toaster that will toast bread better. Not discuss politics with us. We don't need fridges that tell us when our thick butter is done. All this AI connected stuff is all listening to us anyway. About woodcrafting, can you make a fully working wooden hinge? I can make one fully working wooden hinge without any metal parts, because I've made them. In fact, we've got some in the house that we use. Some simple strap type wooden hinges, but also some butt hinges as well in wood, and bolts and stuff like that. You can actually, it's not that difficult to make a wooden hinge from solid. And and basically starts, you cut it out of the block, the whole hinge. It's fiddly, but you can do it. Anyone who thinks we have privacy in the 21st century, well, we haven't. We haven't. I just don't want to make it any easier for them. Quite frankly, I don't do store cards, any of that shit. It's buying habits and that as well, But it's like the amount of times me and Caroline and my missus, were sitting there talking about stuff, and it comes up in our feeds after we're talking about it, not actually doing anything. And then they tell us they're not listening. It's fucking obvious they're listening. And I could be looking for something that ends up in her feed. What if I'm looking for, researching birthday presents or Christmas presents for, I just want to treat her, and it end up in her feed? Oh, what's he looking at? It's crazy. We carry a tracking device everywhere. We do. What we need really is these mobile phones to have an actual isolator switch, a physical isolator switch that physically isolates those sensors, like GPS sensors and stuff like that, and Bluetooth. Because Bluetooth triangulation is the phone itself. We should have a switch so we can isolate the phone, literally isolate it from everything. There is actually a phone that's come out. It's a very basic phone, but there's a phone come out that does actually do that. The only reason I know that came in my feed earlier. And also, on a social media platform at the moment, obviously, any other platforms you might be on. It's a tricky one. Why does Trump eat McDonald's burgers? Shouldn't he eat burgers from Burger King? Yeah, probably. Well, because it's a king. Well, it looks like the king might actually cancel his state visit. It is being considered at the moment, apparently. Trump has cancelled his state visit to China. Anyway, I did say I was going to click off, so I'm going to click off now. Anyway, thanks for joining us. That much appreciated, and I hope you all have a lovely week. What's left of it? What's today? It's going to be Wednesday tomorrow, isn't it? For me. It will be for you too, at some point. I'm in the US. Well, yeah. Doesn't airplane mode do that? Yeah, the problem is, things like airplane mode, it can be controlled. I want to say about actual physical switches, like somebody actually cutting off. Airplane mode is all done by software. Thanks, Joel, and thanks for your help, my friend. So, ta-ta, Marcus and friends. Yeah, take care, everybody. And, I know everything's shit at the moment, what have you, but, we'll get through it. We just need to make sure that we take care of ourselves and our families, of our priorities. And obviously vulnerable people as well. You might have a neighbour, what have you, who might need a bit of a helping hand, elderly, what have you, or disabled. Anyway, you take care. Toodaloo.